Well, today I heard finally from the lawyer, and she has yet to send the paperwork over to Eleuthera. So we had thought about going to Eleuthera this Thursday, but I'm way too skeptical that she's going to get it there, and it's too costly to just fly down there and then have to fly down again. So I told her to send the paperwork over to Eleuthera, to the realtor, and we'll make arrangements. So it'll be another week and a half, maybe 2 weeks before we can get down there, because I've got stuff going on. Okay, here's a fun one for the books. In the Bahamas, if you want to bring money in, it's a relatively easy concept. You know, you want to deposit $10 million, they're more than happy to do that. So the lawyer also told me that, I don't know if you remember, we had that fun issue with the how did we pay for the property. So we found the bank draft, that kind of thing, got that all, sent that down to her, and she tells me today that it usually takes around 2 weeks for the central bank to okay a withdrawal transfer in US dollars. And I'm thinking, oh my God, it's the 21st century. It's going to take 2 weeks to say, yes, you can send them the money in US dollars. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's just ridiculous, and I can't, you know, it's one thing when you're there and you don't have to deal with this aspect. There's a whole bunch of other aspects you got to deal with. But this one, it's just months and months. It's seemingly non-ending. So this morning, I'm going to, her son-in-law has or his father, I don't know whose technically it is, has a laser transit. And we put all the stones, I'll show you that later, put all the stones in the, for the foundation. And the concrete guy is supposed to come, he said, middle to next week to do the footing. So what I've got to do is get this compactor and the laser level and make sure that this bed of stone is all, you know, level all the way around. So that way, when he comes to put his footing in, he doesn't have any potential issues or any of that kind of stuff, and we can get the footing in at least. And then after that, it's probably the next week, that'll be a new, you know, whatever. He'll probably come the next week to do the concrete walls, and we'll have to make that judgment as to when we're going. That's why I can't exactly make plans as to when we're going back, because I don't know when he's going to be here, and I don't know, it's just one thing after another. There's nothing I can do about it, and I just have to sort of roll with it. Well, I got the compactor, you can sort of see it in the back of the truck there, and I've got to stop and get the laser level. And then Sid's taking grandkids to swimming lessons, so when she gets back, then we'll set up and hope it doesn't rain. It said only 40% chance, but we'll do what we have to do. And hopefully she's pretty close to level, we compact it, all's well. Never usually works that way. Well, just about back, and I think the 40% chance of rain is about to turn into 100%. It's just quite natural, right? If I had decided to do nothing today, then it probably wouldn't have rained all day. But because I want to do this, compact the rock, it's going to rain. Hopefully it's just not going to rain forever. Okay, this is basically the base of the, what's going to be the base of the foundation for the house. So you put in these little rocks, And these are, you know, probably inch and a half rock. And then you put it where the footing is going to go. So there's going to be a footing where you see the, I think you can see the red posts. And before, and I started it, but I've got to go out and see over there is the laser. So now I've compacted it down, and I've got to go back with Sid and use the laser, and if there's any high or low spots, bring them up or take them down. So this bed of rock that's all in here is going to be, you know, pretty much, not absolutely, but pretty close to being level. The ground's a little deceiving, but don't worry about that, because inside this, once this gets poured, there'll be a wall on top of the footing that'll come up past the ground level, and the inside of this will all get filled with sand and then compacted too. And then we'll put the slab on and all that. And that's a someday. Don't know when. Someday. So let's see, we did, you know, we've gotten some things done. Trusses are here, so that's a plus. The panels for the walls are here, another plus. Got the truck, so that one's done. Let's see, over there under the other trailer is the snowplow, so that one's done. And then those cement boxes are the parts for the septic system, so that's here. Oh yeah, and the camper's here. So it's just, I don't know, we're doing what we can while we can, and then hopefully, you know, it won't be too long before the house closes, and then we can actually make some real progress. Right now it's just little bits and pieces of stuff that we can get done without all of a sudden incurring large debt. Don't want large debt. Don't want any debt. Well, I just returned the compactor, and I told the guy, you know, when you get on any kind of an incline, it shuts off. He said, it's not supposed to do that. I said, well, it does. Oh, I bet you it's low on oil. So in the future, maybe they should, you know, really check it out before they let somebody use it, so that somebody, like me, doesn't get extremely aggravated that it was a royal pain to use, because every time it got even a little tilted, it would shut off. Anyway, it's basically done. It's about as level as you can get 1.5 inch stones. You know, it's not like sand. You can get sand pretty darn level. And this is within, you know, 1/2 inch, that kind of thing. So should work fine. That part's done. Hopefully next week the cement guy comes, puts the footing in. That'll be a big plus. I don't know what more is going to happen on the house. I mean, that now I've got the footing to contend with, and the foundation to contend with, getting to Eleuthera to contend with, the lawyer, and I just don't know how it's all going to go. Every time I make a plan, I end up having to remake the plan, so we'll see. But today went well. It's done. I wasn't looking forward to it, but it's done.